Hey there! So today we have another review, and this is a beer courtesy of Jeff, so thank you so much. This is a special one. This is a DDH Green Street. I believe the original collaboration was done for the second or third anniversary of Other Half, and they call it Street Green, I believe. That iteration that was brewed at Other Half was absolutely amazing. One of the best Other Half beers that I had had, and this was like early on in the evolution of Other Half being a non-hazy brewery, now being one of the kings of haze, and then obviously Trillium, one of the kings of haze. So this is a DDH, etc., etc., and let's dig into this one. And Katie's really excited about the can, so
I am gonna wipe the top though.
So yeah, collaboration between Trillium and Other Half, a piece of home, and then also a piece of a brewery that is
so wait, there was another version called Street Green.
I believe that's the one that Other Half makes. Oh. So they like collab, do both.
Try not to break my nails.
I can do it.
I got it.
And then they call it DDH. I assume actually the original and was already DDH, but everything's now getting have a DDH thing on it to make it special. So let's dig into this one. So the beer comes in a medium gold color. Has a little bit of medium plus haze to it, not completely opaque, and I already can smell it off the glass. But this one doesn't actually sing that much for me. This one, actually pretty fresh. End of August. So this is
It's beginning of September. Not even. Well, it's like mid-September. So
this is 2 weeks.
Almost has like a breakfast cereal smell to it. To me. Like,
that could be the graininess, yeah.
Like a Fruity Pebbles type thing going on.
As
well as like orange juice. So I guess right off the bat, it reminds me of breakfast, like Fruity Pebbles and orange juice.
Sure. That's an interesting aroma to it, and it almost seems like it has like that milkshake IPA kind of thing because it has that kind of like sweetness and breakfasty kind of thing to it.
Okay.
But
yeah, I'm a little plugged up. I can't smell.
Maybe a touch of mango, but nothing really super expressive. It actually has a little bit of like dank quality and just a little bit of that kind of earthy hop thing. But
yeah, like pineapple. It's like really light, fresh. Airy, I think would be like a good way to describe the aromas that come off of this. They're quite airy, you know. I mean, not like super potent, not super offensive, but also not like I wouldn't say they're like too subtle either. It's just they're airy, they're pleasant.
Yeah, it's a pleasant nose, but nothing too crazy. I would assume this is like a decent version of a large regional brewery trying to do a hazy. Like it doesn't smell like Other Half or Trillium. I mean, at least that's my experience of what Trillium and Other Half smells like. Nothing like of your world-class kingdoms of New England haze, but
okay, that's unexpected.
Yeah, it's very bland for New England.
Yeah, but I think compared to the aroma, the flavor, right up front, right immediately, not a whole lot, but then bam, like in the middle and back, there's just like a lot of flavor to me. But at the same time, it's a bit too bready for my liking. I think you hyped me too much on this one.
Sure. This beer actually just seems like an older can. It seems like a well-made New England IPA that's been aging for 2-3 months.
Has that papery thing going on.
Yeah, it might just be poor canning. That's honestly, that has to be what's going on. They centrifuge their beers. I smelled it on the nose, and it just might be just too much dissolved oxygen in package. Then again, they have a really expensive canning line. Like anytime you say something about these kind of breweries that like you might see malt flavors. I mean, they spend Trillium is a very large size brewery, at least for the scale of New England IPA. There are very few breweries putting out as much New England IPA as Trillium, and they've spent so much money on creating what they do. And I don't know. This doesn't remind me of Trillium at all.
I got super excited.
It reminds me of either old, really well done New England IPA or something that's just a little bit more bland of like large regional IPA. It doesn't sing of like world class IPA to me.
I was so looking forward to ringing this bell, and I'm not sure that I can with this one.
I wouldn't say so. It's pretty. In the aroma, I hinted at something that was not quite right, and then on the palate, it is quite bland.
It's unidentifiable papery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So. Suspect some amount of oxidation. And candy can't be perfect. So it is what it is. So what would you give it as a rating? As what it is.
Yeah, of
Not
course.
saying anything's off. It is the can. It is what it is. And
no, because I can't even pinpoint if it's actually off or if this is actually the flavor.
No, you don't have to say anything. Just say how much you like
no,
it.
that's what I'm saying. As is, because I don't know if there's anything wrong or if this is actually what it's supposed to be. heckin' disappointed, folks. Not that it's terrible, but it's just not what I would expect coming from other half and Trillium. I had that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trillium.
I'm gonna go ahead and give it like a. I mean, it's still not awful.
No, it's pretty good.
Go ahead and give it like a 91.
Okay. It does have a little bit of that pineapple quality. There's almost like orange rind driving in there. There's a little bit of dryness. There's a little bit of that kind of like sulfatey thing coming, or
Like
fluoride
raisin
thing.
too. I kind of get like a raisin or a dried
Fruit
of some sort. Maybe it's dried pineapple.
dry pineapple or apricot.
It's almost
that.
like aged pineapple.
Yeah, it's dried, accentuated fruit dryness of the fruit versus something that's really pungent and super juicy. It has a nice mouthfeel to it, but again, it just doesn't like show a lot. And there's like kind of a lingering aftertaste for me. This beer is okay, kind of New England. You know, it's not super like chalky. It's not super hot burny.
Not super creamy either.
That's a decent mouthfeel. I think the hops have faded or something is not quite there, but like the mouthfeel's okay for me.
The last New England we had was much more like creamy to me. So I don't know.
Yeah, and it's a little bit sharp, kind of green, light, kind of like almost like a minty spearmint kind of thing driving in there, but it's not like super expressive of the hops that I want from these two breweries. This beer for me gets a 88.
Really? What are the hops that are in this anyway? Do you know?
I'll post in the description below.
Okay.
Until next time, guys. Cheers.